Hi everybody, today I'll be showing you some non-standard ways of spotting a fake gold, and these methods you can even use at home. We don't require any special equipment for that. Before we do that, I would like to explain you guys how we do our gold analysis here at Cash Company. Basically outline the steps, what we do with gold item to see if it's actually real gold or if it's fake. So as soon as we receive a jewelry piece, first thing we do is we look for the stamps that will show us the carat of the item. So the stamps could be either something like 575, 916, or 14K, 18K, 22K, and so on. If there is a stamp on the item, then I would say we will be 85% sure that it's real gold. But we still need a couple more steps to complete in order to be 100% sure. The second step will be using our metal analyzer. We place the item inside the machine, and that will show us the carat of the gold, as well as it will show if the gold is gold plated. But it will spot it only in case if the gold plated layer is very thin. If the gold is gold filled, sorry for redundancy, if the gold is gold filled, then the machine will not spot it, unfortunately. So if we have a stamp and if our metal analyzer shows us that it's say 14 karat, and if that applies to items like chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, and all the smaller items, then that's it. We are done with testing. We go back to the customer, we quote with the price, and we pay cash. But for items like this, the bigger items, which are thick bangles, big chains, some very thick heavy-duty bracelets, sometimes coins, we do need to perform a couple more steps just to make sure and to be on the safe side. And by the way, no matter what testing we do with the items, we want to assure you that you will still get the same amount of money throughout the whole procedure. Then after we have the bigger items, and after the gold analyzer showed us it's gold, we ask for permission from a customer to file it. So we use very small little file like this to make a little tiny scratch on your item to make sure that the inside metal is also gold, and then that it's the same karat gold. Because sometimes it happens, it can be like a 10 karat gold and on the top it's covered with like 18 karat gold. So that cannot be considered 18 karat gold. Then we have to perform this little step, but we require permission for that. And we encourage customers to give the permission because, as I mentioned, you will still be getting the same price. The price will not drop just because we filed your item. But sometimes customers are not willing to give the permission, and I can show you what happens in this case. So let's start with the examples. This bangle goes first. I'll tell you right away, it's a solid real gold. It's a very heavy, thick piece. And these kind of items we do must to file. So obviously we ask for your permission. Unfortunately, if we don't get your permission, we are not able to accept the item. And I will explain you why on the example. But if you don't want to damage it and you want to just do a quick test at home, you can perform a so-called sound check. The idea behind is that you have to, first of all, eliminate touching the item with your hands to reduce not to reduce the vibration. So you can use any sort of pin or something like I'm using right here. You hang the item like that, and you take any small, you can do fork or spoon or anything, and you just slightly hit the item like this. So when I do that, I can actually feel the vibration in my hand here from the bangle, and I can clearly hear that it's a metal sound. It's a clear metal sound. I cannot mix it with anything else. Which means that obviously this is a solid piece. But once again, there's unfortunately a chance that it can be another metal inside of the gold, and that you cannot check using the sound test. So for that, we need to file it and see what's inside. That's the policy. Another example is pretty much, you can say, relatively same size bangle here. It's bigger in the front, a little bit narrower, but it's pretty much the same size. But it's way, way, way lighter. So the way it works is jewelers make the very nice, beautiful piece of jewelry, but to make it not very expensive, they just make it hollow inside. So as opposed to this piece, which is just one solid gold, this is empty inside. So it's just a layer of gold, and inside is pretty much just the air. It's way lighter. It's really, really light. I mean, you're not gonna be able to see it just like that on the camera, but you can, if you own items like that, you can see right away it's very, very light. But in this case, we still want to make sure it's hollow inside. We want to double check that there's air and nothing else. To do that, we do the same thing. We hang it like that, and we just hit it slightly, and we can hear, comparing to the metal sound, which is this one, it's just the sound of hollowness and emptiness. It's still a very nice, and it's still expensive piece of gold, because comparing to smaller rings and bracelets, it's way heavier. But comparing to the same size solid gold, of course it's lighter. So that allows to reduce the cost, and it's still gonna look very rich and fancy when you wear it. So that's this item. And the last item, which is the trickiest one, and I am telling you up front, it's not gold. We actually had to not only file it, but for the educational purposes, it was a big necklace. We broke it in half just to show you what can happen with the gold item. So look here, my friends. You can see that inside it's some piece of wire, and there's also some plastic, and outer layer, it is gold. It is definitely gold, and it's pretty thick. It's not a gold plating, it's not a gold powder. It is actually, like, I would say that probably this thickness of gold, it's the same as this one. It's the same. They're like they are both pretty thin, but still they keep the shape. The only difference is that this one has air inside and it doesn't weigh anything. This one has a plastic and a wire, and it adds to the weight. So our metal analyzer will show us that it's gold, but obviously we cannot pay for this item based on the total weight, because clearly inside it's not gold. And I just want to repeat once again that sound check so that you can compare how the three items sound. So this is solid, big, heavy, thick piece of gold. And you can feel the vibration in your hand when you do that. This is a hollow piece, it's empty inside. And this is a piece which is actually stamped, but it's not empty inside. There's some plastic inside. No vibrations, and it's pretty, you can actually sense the sound of plastic. So, of course, even for us, that was a discovery, and we wouldn't be able to use this type of testing while estimating the value that we can pay you, because it's I wouldn't say it's 100% accurate. But just for your information, if you don't have any other equipment, that's the best way to kind of figure out if you might be having something which is a fake gold. But I would certainly advise you that the best method ever is to slightly file the item, because if we file here just a little bit, just I would say 0.5 millimeter on the inside part, we can see right away here that it's not gold inside. So if you don't mind to do a slight little scratch on your item, that will guarantee you 100% you can actually see with your eyes what's going on there. So that's it, guys, for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your time and attention. And if you have any questions, you can contact us directly. We are located in Canada, in Ontario, and we are open every day. You can call us at 905-595-5222. And also, we would love to perform a check for you. If you're unsure about the purity of your items, you can just come by and we can do it absolutely free of charge in our metal analyzer that will be very, very, very accurate. Thanks again, guys, and have a good one.